confidence is standing in a moment in your body, seeing whatever you're looking at through the eyes of Source. So it includes seeing you, seeing what you're seeing. It means allowing all that you are to be present in the moment. And you would be in that confidence if you weren't doing something, or if you hadn't been practicing something that is still somewhat active in you that isn't letting the confidence through. It's like you've got an umbrella up, and confidence and well-being is raining down all around you because your inner being knows how brilliant you are and how worthy you are. The best way for anyone to grow their confidence or to improve their personal sense of worthiness is to understand the laws of the universe, to set intentions, to do your best to feel good as much as you can, and then observe the way the universe works on your behalf. Because the more you catch the universe working on your behalf, the more worthy you feel. But you got to be in the vibrational vicinity of it. We've been working toward this understanding with all of you for quite some time. We're going to give you a very brief series of ways to look at it that we've been offering with this singular intention in mind. We told you that you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and that you still are source energy even though you're here, because we want you to understand these 2 points of attraction that are you: your soul, source, inner being, God part, and you in your physical body. And of course, the more closely aligned these 2 parts of you are vibrationally, then the better you feel, the more satisfied you are, and the more worthiness you are aware of, because your inner being knows that about you. So then we went on to explain that if you feel any kind of negative emotion, like insecurity, for example, or lack of confidence, it always means that you're just looking at it different than your inner being does. And in fact, if your inner being were not so confident, you could not feel lack of confidence. Because the emotion that you're feeling is the relational feeling between how your inner being feels and what your inner being knows and what you're doing right here and right now. Then we went on to explain that you sift through the contrast in your time and space, and you launch these vibrational rockets of desire. You can't help but do it. And when you do, they're answered every time by your inner being, by source, and by law of attraction. So this growing that you're doing is happening even though you can't see it right now, because these vibrations have to turn to things before you can see them. There's a vibrational realm that exists, but you've got to find some way to tune into it and to practice being tuned to it before you can be the translator of it into things. Well, most humans wait until they can see and hear and smell and taste and touch the things before they allow themselves to feel worthy. They want to gather other people around, and they want them to all stand in amazement at the statue that you've created. Isn't it beautiful? I made this. Took me my whole life. It's all I'm ever going to do, too. It's going to rest on the laurels of this statue. A lot of people do that. They get something going, and they like it, and other people like it, and then they just stand and say, that represents me. It's the tangible thing that they want to represent them. We want the intangible to be what you're reaching to represent you. Because if you could hook into and understand this vibrational reality, then what would happen is, in your knowing that it's there, even though you can't yet see it, in your faith that it exists, even though you can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, but you can feel it because you feel satisfaction. You can feel it because you feel exhilaration. You can feel it because you're happy. You can feel it because life helped you to know that you wanted it, and you believe that it is coming in the fullest of sense. So you stand in that faith-based, expectant, knowing that it's coming because you can feel it, state of being. And then a really wonderful sequence of events begins to happen. Because you are not noticing that what you want hasn't happened, but you're expectant that what you want is coming. You find a way and another way and another way and another way and another way of lining up with it until you are in what we want to call the receiving mode of it. In other words, you're ready to receive the vibrational transmission of it, just like Esther is ready to receive the vibrational transmission of Abraham. We're not whispering these words into her ear one at a time. That would be quite awkward. Instead, we are offering her a stream of consciousness that she is receiving at a very well practiced and unconscious level, and she is able to stream our intent into words. This is thoughts turning to things. This is vibration turning to thoughts, turning to things. That's what this is. So all day, every day, you are in varying degrees the streamer of this non-physical vortex, the streamer of it. So you know that feeling when you get an idea, oh, that idea that was so satisfying before you killed it with your doubt, with your objective reality. It burst through in a moment of your defensive weakness. It burst through in a moment of your unguarded protectiveness. It burst through because it must, because source is always flowing it. It came through and, you got a whiff of it. You said, and then you saw someone else saying, what's wrong with you? Nothing, just a ridiculous thought I had about my future success. But if you feel that idea and you feel it and you understand what just happened, that a thought just turned to a thing. It just turned to an idea in your mind that gave you exhilaration because you merged. You were in tune with who you are. And because you understand the process, because you understand law of attraction, because you understand your place out here on the leading edge, because you know you put stuff in the vortex and you know the vortex did its thing and law of attraction worked with it and your inner being's there too. And most important, because you found a high-flying enough thought for long enough, now you and your thoughts are in a close enough vibrational place that you received and translated the transmission of it into an idea. And we want you to know that's not the beginning. That's well along the way when that happens to you. And when that happens to you, that means you have the ability to hold yourself there for more thoughts, which bring more good timing, more good rendezvous, more manifestations of the things that are in your vibrational reality right out here where you can see them and everyone else can too. And there is nothing in all of the universe that brings more of a steady awareness of your worthiness than you're applying what you know and translating it into your good deeds, you see. Words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. It's odd that we offer so many words. We blame Esther. We're just offering feelings. We're offering thoughts. And she's translating them. And we're glad that she is, because you're joining her in these rendezvous. And then your life experience shows you something that you've heard about. And you realize that you are the creator of your own reality. You are the worthy creator of your own reality. You have the energy that creates worlds at your back, assisting you in the creation of whatever it is that's important to you. For you not to feel worthy is ridiculous. We'll be kind. Crazy. Stupid. It's ridiculous for you to not know the worthiness of your being, because it's just crazy that you have not been allowing more and more of what you've put into your vortex, which is alive and well, to come into your conscious awareness. So here's why. It comes into your conscious awareness all the time, and then you counteract it with other things that you've picked up along your physical trail. So the reason that you don't let your cork float is because you hold it under the water. That's all. Let go of it. It'll float. So there it's floating. The idea came. Oh, what a good idea. And then you think, oh, never done anything like that before. Hardly know anybody that has. Not sure what others would think if I actually did that. Not sure how much time I have. I'm pretty busy. I don't know. I'm not getting enough sleep as it is. I don't know. I don't really think I can do that. And then your cork is under the water and you say, why don't I feel worthy? And we say, let go of the cork. Oh, I don't think so. I think I have good reason to hold this idea down because I tried to explain a little bit of it to my mother. And then I went to sleep. And when I woke up, my cork was floating again. And the idea came back. And then I remembered. And so You practice these thoughts of unworthiness, but the good news is every time you do it, you feel the emotion that lets you know you're doing it. So the key is, when you feel yourself doing that thing you do, where you are counteracting something that has been born and something that you tapped into for a moment, just acknowledge what's happening. You don't have to solve it right then. You don't have to suddenly start feeling different than you feel. In fact, law of attraction won't let you. Law of attraction is going to continue the momentum of the things that you are giving the most time to. But when you awaken in the morning, you have a much better shot of your cork floating. Just let it float for a little while, which usually means see no one for a while. Don't answer your email. Don't look on your phone. Stop the multitasking. Do a little bit of segment intending. Let this segment of your day be, you woke up, you're tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Stay there for just a little while and practice what it feels like to be in sync with the ideas that are flowing. It's just like your radio. Set your tuner for what you want to receive. And what you want to receive from your vortex is way up here in these pure positive energies, you see. And before you know it, ideas are flowing and more manifestations are coming, and the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. Step one is life causes you to ask. You can't stop doing that. So stop trying to stop doing that, because you can't stop doing that. You're going to ask all day, every day. You just are. Ask, 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 ask. It's the predominant reason that you're in this body, in this leading edge, contrasting experience, so that new things will occur to you to ask for. So you ask, source answers immediately. It becomes this vibrational reality. And then it becomes more and more and more as law of attraction adds to it, and it gestates and becomes ready for you to receive. That's step 3. You got to be in the mode where you can receive what it is that you've been asking for. And you're getting good at that. Have you noticed? You're getting very good at that. Which leads us to step 4, which is just being very good at that. Step 4 is just being very good at step 3. That's all step 4 is, just being really good at step 3. So that it's natural, so that your natural tendency is to expect good things rather than have to talk yourself into it. And then step 5, it's really our favorite step of all, because that's where you come back into awareness of how you felt when you decided to come into this body to begin with. That's where you gladly embrace step 1 as an important step. Because so often you become masters of step 3, and then when you have a dip in your vibration, you beat up on yourself about it instead of acknowledging, oh yeah, I forgot. That is what I came for. I came for the contrast that gives birth to more ideas and more ideas and more ideas and more ideas and more ideas. So we know you heard that clearly. Just be playful about it. Don't be so serious about it. There's nothing serious going on. Do you know, if you didn't know anything about anything that we say to you ever, if you hadn't read any books, there are a lot of them. If you hadn't listened to any recordings, there are so many of them, you'd need another lifetime to hear them. If you'd never heard anything from us or anyone that knows anything that we know, your life would teach you all of this just naturally because of the setup. You were born into contrast, which causes you to ask automatically. Step 1 is taken care of. You don't need a class about that. So this consistent, lovely law of attraction, it just does its thing. You don't have to know about it. And source answers every time, and you don't have to know about that. So your vibrational reality, this vibrational version of everything that you want and everything that you've become, just keeps amassing more and becoming more and being the confident, successful, everything that you're reaching for. It just bees that and just offers a signal to you all day, every day. Here we are. Here we are. Remember us? Remember all that we've become together? Here we are, emanating everything that we are. Here we are. Here we are, talking about you and your inner being. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Confident, happy, appreciative, loving. Here we are. 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 But you notice mostly where you're not here where we are when you're somewhere else. When you feel negative emotion, that's when you have your most knowledge about the existence of this vibrational reality. Because you couldn't feel bad if we didn't feel so good. If there were not this vibrational relationship that is so vibrationally connected to you, you could never feel negative emotion, which means every bit of negative emotion that you feel is such a good thing because it's evidence of how far you've come and how much you are, you see.